I'm still not in person, and we're not having a couple of brewskis backstage.
Ah, I know, it's too bad. It's too bad. You guys got to come back.
It's probably a good thing, like the amount of like antics that you've seen on tour of us is well overdone, I'm sure.
Oh, it's the best. Got a special interview for you today with Jake Vorshine and Jake Mossop, also known as Pencil and Mossy from Le Shiv. This band has quite a storied past, and after a few years of releasing periodic singles, they've blessed us with their debut EP, New World Color, which features some brand new songs, as well as some that have been finished for some time now, just waiting for their place in the sun. Quick disclaimer, listening back through this talk, some of the topics we discuss do lack context, so I encourage you to listen to the first interview we did back in 2021 to tie up any loose ends, but just a warning, it's a little sloppy. Give me a break, okay? It was my second one ever. Anyway, I love these guys. We had a great chat. Take a listen for yourself. It's your first body of work ever, right? Since you started the band, which was, I think, 2018. So that's pretty big. I mean, aside from singles, of course. But safe to say it's been a long time coming. I know you thought for a while it would happen much earlier than it eventually did. But just generally, how does it feel to have it finally out?
Yeah, it's good. As you said, we just been kind of waiting a long time to put something out that wasn't just a single. I think there's one song on there that was done, I think, in 2018, and then the rest were kind of done more recently. But it's kind of, it's good to feel like people can listen to something continuously instead of just one song at a time.
Right. And I know in the past, I think it was our last talk, we talked about releasing an EP or an album versus just going single by single. Obviously, as a band, I think it's probably the most appealing to put out a whole album. But Moss, I think I remember you saying that after a few years of just going single by single, it almost felt detrimental to just drop a bunch of songs. So was there any real concern about that leading up to this release, or just excited to get it out?
No, I think it's just in this day and age, and I feel like it's just advice that we've taken on where it's more common to kind of get a bit of a following before you go and spend all the money on releasing a bunch of music. I know we as a band would far rather do it, but we kind of, we're guided in the process a little bit. So that was why I said that. But I think to be honest, it's actually had the opposite effect. It's been a positive thing for our audience.
Yeah.
So far anyway.
And speaking of audiences, you're touring the EP pretty soon. Are you psyched for that?
Yeah, really excited. I don't know if we've done a proper own solo tour to this capacity yet, either.
We're professional support band as this far.
I don't know. It seems like most of the time when you guys open, it's with friends of yours. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, we just like playing in front of people. That's the idea. But yeah, I think now
I like the idea of doing in front of no one as well.
Yeah, I like the idea of playing to no one as well. But no, I think he was just saying we'll finally be selling our own tickets and it's not over your neck of the woods, unfortunately, but we'll get there.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear you have plans for it at least, or at least the desire to. And speaking of which, actually, I was noticing that as I was trying to think of questions for this, I was taking a very Americentric approach to it, which makes sense, because that's where I live. But especially now that you've sort of been back at home for the last few years, what kind of advantages have you found about being an Australian band? Because you guys were here for a little bit, and then now that you've been back there for a while.
I think mainly just the lifestyle's nicer here than America. Besides, I don't know if there's many advantages as far as playing music over here.
No, there's not. There's definitely more. it would be more advantageous to be based in the States as far as like, you know, a band who's, but then again, like there's pros and cons to both. But I think for us, like we obviously had the American management, and that was great while we were living there, but it was becoming difficult, like being based in Australia and having American management, because they are two completely different landscapes. You kind of have to be on the ground here. So yeah, like I don't know if we told you this, but like we parted ways with Marcus amicably. But we got Australian management now, so it's been good for in Australia anyway.
Of course. Speaking of the like management side of things, I'm remembering a pretty heated conversation you guys were having in the green room at the show in Anaheim, and it was basically just a continuation of an ongoing discussion over which single you were going to release next. And this was like fall 2022, I think. And I think like New World Color was one of them. I think Strange 2 was one of them as well. Obviously, it ended up being neither of them. But just seeing them both on this EP got me thinking about, you know, how long some of these songs have been around. And so I think it was one of you who said in a very recent interview, actually, that was just published, that it's sort of like a small timeline of Le Shiv so far. And so was it like weird putting out some brand new songs alongside some ones that were, you know, 4 or 5 years old at this point?
I don't think it was like too weird.
Okay.
It was just kind of more a brief discussion of like, will these all work together? And I feel like it does. I feel like we don't ever release too much of the same sounding song in general. So I think that they all feel different isn't that weird to sound like as a body of work for us.
Okay. You're saying like the singles that you release aren't necessarily like the same as the one before it and so on. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think just our songwriting in general forever has just been kind of not
formula.
Not super formulated or like this is the sound we're going for. I think we kind of just release an array of sounds. So that when putting all the songs together on the EP, I don't think it felt too weird for us.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, just listening through it, you know, I think it flows pretty well. So I think it's pretty solid. I know I've been bugging you guys about this for probably years now, but it's begging to be put out on like a 10-inch or something like that, like a physical release.
I think there is talk of doing a vinyl release and then the A side being the EP and the B side possibly doing a collection of all the singles we've had in the past too.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
So hopefully that will be coming. You won't. Don't have to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
We might take money from you. We'll send you two. One won't have a vinyl in it, the other one will. And not wrapping on one.
And then together they'll make one.
Perfect one.
Yeah, 2 separate shipments.
Yeah. Unless you want 4, and then we can do...
Is this a line on which his best hits record with our album art?
We did do that, didn't we?
Did we?
I think when we were packing one of our old albums for an older band I bought heaps of old $1 records, and then we packed all our 7 inches in other people's.
Oh, that was the packaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We did do that.
You should.
Anyway.
It's not important.
Not important.
That's very important.
Let's go into it then.
Yeah, so which one? No. Anyway, I was actually going to ask about, I think it was Jarlath actually brought this up last time we spoke, but it's sort of a game, you know, to release music in the world of streaming platforms is the most, I guess, ideal method of consumption for most people. It's definitely the easiest. And it sounds just awful trying to like game the system, which I would imagine would kind of suck a lot of the fun and fulfillment out of the equation if you're not careful. So is that something that you have struggled with at all recently as you release singles and you know, this EP?
I try not to like think about it too much and let whoever's looking after us think about it more so. But like we do check it all and see how it's going and everything. But I just don't know if you can really pick the most perfect way. So I try not to dwell on it too much.
Yeah, I don't reckon as far as like independent releases, I'm not sure if like anyone really knows like how it works. It's like we've been fortunate enough this EP release to get like a bunch of playlists on Spotify and stuff, but before that, and we don't know how it happened, and before that we never got it really. So I just don't know. I don't think anyone knows. You just cross your fingers and close your eyes and keep writing.
Yeah.
Just leave your laptop on repeat and cut it yourself.
I don't know. Not knowing how it works definitely wouldn't make it any easier for me. I'd be stressing out too much about it probably.
Yeah. You can get bogged down in it, watching the figures and being like, I think this is better than the last one.
And this actually reminds me, you guys have something in Australia that we don't over here, and that's Triple J. In America, most large radio stations are privately funded, for better or worse, usually worse. And that just means it's harder or, impossible for smaller bands to be featured on the radio. Now, I don't fully understand how, Triple J Unearthed works. So if you wouldn't mind just...
I guess Triple J just have their fingers in a lot of the pies, so they do a lot of, they sponsor most of the festivals here and everything. And I guess it's the Hottest 100 just got announced yesterday and Doja Cat won it. Did you see that?
No.
Well, that's a huge thing over here is the Hottest 100, where it's I think it's one of the biggest, what's the vote kind of called when it's public?
Yeah, the biggest democracy. It's they get the most votes. I don't know.
I think they had over 2 million people voting in it.
I don't know if it's still like that.
But anyway, that thing's huge, and I feel like everyone kind of is aware of
what the deal is. It's like a national radio station. It's a government radio station. So I believe in America, you can labels pay money to be on the radio, their artists to get on the radio. The good thing about Triple J is they will support and pick up and play unsigned talent just based off whether the music's good or not. So it's really positive in that sense, but the downside to it is they kind of they're the only radio station, non-commercial radio station in the country that has that weight, because there's such a huge audience. Even internationally, I think people tune in. Yeah, so there's pros and cons to it. And I think for particularly before Spotify and all the streaming platforms came out, it was kind of it was the way you climb the ladder in Oz. That was how if you got on rotation on Triple J, it was the biggest thing ever. I'm not sure if it holds the same weight now that Spotify and all these streaming platforms are out. They're well, not more than likely, they do carry a lot more weight. So yeah, I don't know. I think the more exposure you get, the better. But I don't know. We don't get too bogged down in it anymore. It used to be the be all end all, but now we kind of just go you know what, let's just keep releasing good music and not be salty at anyone or anything, and just put our heads down, keep to ourselves.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds like you guys have the right idea.
Yeah, been doing it for a little bit, so.
And it's good to hear that you guys are on some Spotify playlists now too, because I've had conversations with artists about this, and it's someone recently brought up that it's the modern radio, I guess, which is it seems, but I just hadn't thought of it before. How kind of, your hope as an artist to be discovered if you have zero audience is to be added to a Spotify playlist.
I think it kind of is. It's kind of cool because it's more worldwide than just individual radio stations in different countries, which is cool. But yeah, I try not to think about it too much, but you can't help but see the numbers. They're just there, but
they're right there.
It's pretty funny though. It's just
for everyone to see.
It's weird that you can just judge yourself by how many streams you're getting these days and not what the music is.
I know. Imagine if back in the day you'd buy a record and it was had on the record played 7 billion times.
That's a good record.
Must be good.
Yeah, no, I see the same thing where I try to post an interview or something like that, and it's spent 6 hours editing this thing and 5 people listen to it. But yeah,
but you know what? The good thing is it's there for life, and I think with
You can get more than 6 listens like as years go on forever, dude.
yeah, well,
Just don't take it
like
down.
if people if down the track, I mean, nothing starts off gigantic, you know, if down the track you become discovered or whatever. This is music as well. Like all that stuff's there, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not trying to like complain to you guys or anything. I was just like
Jack gets us off for an interview and just starts whinging to us.
Yeah, you guys are asking the questions now.
Okay, so what's the biggest snap you've had when you saw your listeners?
I don't actually think like 6 is kind of a lower number, but yeah, I've had where it's like, 15, and I was kind of maybe, I don't have a number in my head, but I see it and I'm like, I spent like 8 hours editing that, and I kind of wish it was more. But
that with like music videos, you've been like filming and doing shit for like days, and then you put it up and you go, okay.
I try not to look.
Oh, yeah,
we spend all that money and time doing that.
That happens with music videos. Like, I mean, we've always put like a lot of effort into them, like for having, well, like basically not ever having any budget. But we're like relatively anal about like the visual aspects of the band, and like we put shit up that we worked very hard on. It's like fucking 500 views or whatever.
Yeah,
like that was sick. Glad we did that. Why'd we do that?
I try not to look, but it just like
you use the term anal.
Sometimes only when absolutely necessary.
It's not like anal is an anal. It's like, well, maybe I don't know. Anal. It's not like an offensive thing.
No. Do you mean like? Do I personally?
It just means you're. What's the other word for it? Anal.
Uptight.
I guess uptight. More just like needs to be right.
Yeah,
that's what anal.
No, I know what it means as a slang term.
Yeah, he speaks English.
Yeah.
I did anal last night. I was so fanatical. I hadn't heard it in a while, and you said it, and I was like, it's a weird term.
You're still childish. I
My favorite
anal,
number,
and you got excited.
Favorite number is still 69.
Sorry, Jack. Sorry. Going off.
We can edit that out.
You probably knew this was going to come.
No,
eventually.
I'm not editing that. I'm only editing out the. I actually already blew through all my questions, so that's it. No, but no.
Huge.
Moss, what you were saying about getting like uptight or anal about the music videos. I did an interview with Marcus like a year ago for this profile I'm writing about you guys, which long work in progress. But anyway, he was telling me about filming a video for, I think it's $1,000,001.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like talking about how he was like with you guys and you guys are all throwing out ideas. And he said what you settled on for the video idea was just, it would be like a meta thing where you guys are all sitting in a room talking about ideas for a video. And then it would like cut to that. And then it would cut back and be like, no, that's not good. Let's do this instead. And then it would.
Yeah, we'd come up with the idea for the video clip. And then there would be like 15, 20 seconds of us literally doing that video clip. And then it'd cut back and be like, no, that didn't work.
It'd be a very unlistenable music video.
Yeah, it'd be so stop-starty.
But we never did it. We shot it. We filmed it all. I don't know what's happening with the edit.
Problem is we're not releasing the song.
We could release it as a video.
Everything we did with Marcus was always hell on the fly, and we always pulled it off hard. But I think with that one, we just like, it was almost too on the fly. And the song wasn't there yet. So we might have bitten off a little bit more than we could chew, but
if he could edit it, I'd watch it and make a decision then.
I feel like he's got a lot of footage sitting around that just has yet to be.
There's some,
there's
some shit there.
He started working with us to film everything and maybe document the whole thing, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll do something with it one day.
Yeah, he will. I'm sure he will. There's too much. There's like, I think at one point he told me that there's, how many, was it 6 2 terabyte hard drives of footage on us?
Oh my God.
I don't know. It was a lot. It was a fucking lot of footage. I was like,
he was so excited though talking about it. Like he had all these good ideas.
The plan was always to be filming constantly. And then as things started taking over in America, pitch either a documentary or a series and have that go in tandem. We never got to that point. So sitting on an immense amount of footage, immense, and it's wild shit. But no one will fund or buy a film or documentary or series without a hook, and they're just not quite at the level yet to be that hook. Right. But everything's fucking primed. Hopefully it happens, because there's some amazing, like, I've got to choose between opening it with, so Jarlath, his day job, he's a possum piper, right?
Yeah.
There's just great footage of him running out of this big wealthy house with his possum piper outfit on, holding a possum by its neck and just chucking it in the bushes. Or opening it with Pencil, fully clothed, in a shower in Mexico, like all Mexican tiles, beautiful little shower, small shower. And he's in the doorway with the water running and him just soaked, looking to the camera, this VHS camera, being like, yeah, some people say rock and roll's dead, but me, I don't get it. I don't know what they're on about. And behind him are two butt naked couples fully going at it. Like right behind him, 4 people just absolutely getting into it. And I do this full interview with him about the state of rock and roll and about LeShiv, while there's this like orgy happening behind him in the shower while he's like fully dressed. And that was not set up. That just like was one of those weird ass nights that just happened that way.
You can't even set that up.
No, you can't. Yeah. There's so many shit like that you can't write.
Yeah.
So I have no idea where this film is going to go. Someday there's going to be something great made, and we got some amazing footage for it. So I'm excited for that, because I've been a part of a lot of music documentaries that are of bigger bands, but they get so watered down by the time they come out, because they have to protect an image, to protect this, and so many cooks in the kitchen. I was like, wow, this is going to be so cool. It's going to be unfiltered, and you get to see a band from like their baby stages, like from the very, very beginning. Usually you're hunting for little pieces of footage for your documentary of like, when they were just starting. Like, here's like from inception onwards. It's like I've filmed them telling their girlfriends that they're moving to America, and all that. Like it's there's some crazy stuff there, but hopefully we'll all be watching that film at some point.
I think it'd be cool. I would totally watch it.
Oh, yeah. Same.
We could get you to narrate it.
That would be cool.
I would do it.
All right, well, we'll keep that in mind.
Sorry you were trying to organize this with me, because I was horrible. And then Mossy helped out and got in and finally picked a date for it.
Did you notice I tried other mediums?
I'm bad at it.
You did well. You did well going to the emails, because with Instagram, like, you get so much shit.
So many fan messages, man. Just
not that, but like there is a lot of shit that like it's just boom, 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 and like although it's not good, I've kind of stopped like being held on top of them, because
I'll write back. I just won't continue or
Pencil right back and then go
organizing.
That's it. Yeah, sounds cool. Bye.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
Never tell anyone.
Yeah.
My favorite Instagram messages we get are, hey, this is a really cool brand. We think you'd align with our jewelry company.
Yeah.
Do you get those ones?
Oh, yeah.
How fucking annoying are they? Do you get them ever?
Well, that's an automated one, but actual, like, you get actual real ones as well.
Yeah, we get real messages.
I just get scams. I just get people saying that they'll promote my
click this link
stuff. Yeah,
click
exactly.
This link. Don't just click it.
Don't worry about it.
I swear it doesn't do anything. Yeah, so that's why it took so long, Jacko.
It's totally fine. I was so psyched. So I was looking for an excuse to like, talk to you guys again. I don't know. The EP is big. It's special, right? So
EP is the one.
Yeah, it is a bit special.
I referenced like an interview that was like put out earlier this week. I think there's like potentially another EP in the future, or was that more just like, oh, that'd be cool if we could do that, maybe?
Yeah, that's real.
We've definitely got tour coming up. We'll be playing a bunch, and then we've just recorded another 2 singles, but I think the plan is before the end of the year to fit in another EP. I'd love to do an album. I don't know if this year's the time or not, but definitely an EP at least. So I got a bit of writing to do.
Have you exhausted your sort of massive backlog of songs that you?
No, we've still got a bunch, but I think just for us, we'd want to like have newer, fresher things just for our own creativeness. And
yeah,
we did just get out of the studio though, doing two two more that
Sick.
will be out shortly after the EP. Might even put one or two of them on the vinyl.
Cool.
So we're busy.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you have any plans to like, you know, test out some new material in the tour you've got coming up.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Well,
We'll play the new EP.
yeah,
Of
we
course,
haven't.
of course.
There's like maybe probably 3 songs on the EP that we've never played until yesterday or the day before when we did this live performance thing. But we'll definitely have them on, and then yeah, we need to get back in the studio, in the wherever we write.
I think these will be the first shows that we play where every song's been released, though.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Except for the last one, but that's coming out
very
after.
soon. Very soon. It's
Anyway,
recorded.
this is just a quick chat between me and Moss. You know,
Oh yeah,
you.
don't.
Yeah, so no, we've got new stuff. We're put it this way, we're kind of like in the past we've been pretty, and I don't put this down to like poor work ethic. I just think it's just like we kind of didn't really understand. But we're going to be a lot more like onto releases, you know, releasing every 6 weeks to 2 months, you know, tops.
Cool.
Whereas like in the past, we might have had like 30 fucking songs written and they're just sitting there and we could have recorded them easy. It's not because like we're lazy and we hadn't written. It's just because we didn't go through the motion of like tracking them and releasing them. But I think we're a lot more onto that now. So
Okay.
there will be no lulls.
Good. That's exciting. What was I going to say? Yeah, you were talking about having
something.
Huh?
You were segueing into something. I'll just cut you off again.
I was segueing. No, that's fine.
It's,
the delay is like
segueing into something.
But anyway, you were talking about having more intention moving forward with like having more consistent releases, which is kind of different from what's happened in the past. Now, is that a matter of like finding a method that sort of just works best for you guys, like a process, like a creative process of like writing, recording, releasing? Was that not something you focused too much on before, or?
I think we've just been like in the past way less organized and feeling the need to like keep on recording, but now we've just want to make sure we're releasing as often and frequently as we can compared to what we used to do.
Yeah, I think it's also like Marcus was the first manager we had, and like Marcus's like creative input into the project was like it was massive. Like he played a really big role, even in the formation of the name of Le Shiv. Like he's always played a really big part in the aesthetic and all that stuff as well. But he also was just super fresh to the management side of things, and we were kind of like learning it together along the way. So I think that like, you know, that played a part in it as well, kind of not understanding the urgency of like, not the urgency, but like, you know, in this day and age, it's like super important to be consistent because there's so much music and it's, you know, how easy it is to kind of like record something and chuck it up.
Right.
So I think like it's important to just kind of stay in your face. But we didn't understand that. I honestly don't reckon it's anything to do with work ethic because like we sacrifice a lot to move over to America and kind of, you know, we devoted a lot of time and money and effort into the music. And I think we probably thought that we were doing all we could, but yeah, there was just a lot of like kind of learning along the way, which is cool. Like we're still like, that's the thing. We're still doing it. Like we've learned a lot of lessons. Pretty hard to fuck up this round.
I was gonna say, like when we were talking about the US versus Australia and just how different it is, I feel like it must have done a lot of good at least to like start the band in the US, because I think you guys had a lot of like initial breaks, at least like according to Marcus. When I talked to him about that, he just said like a lot of, you know, your early stuff wouldn't have happened if you weren't there.
It's true. I mean, there was a lot of like little hints at really great opportunities that came up. Some of them were hindered by COVID. Others were just probably hindered by our lack of preparation. But there was a lot of good opportunities that came there, and we learned a lot. I was going to say something, and then my brain, I just started staring at that wardrobe, and I was like, why is that door up? Sorry, Jack.
It's fine.
What was I saying?
Anal.
Fucking gone blank.
Mimosa, dude. You've had one mimosa.
Jack, just like rewind for 1 second. What were we just talking about? We were talking about something.
So I was talking about the comparison between LA versus.
It better be good what you have to say.
Yeah. So no, there was a lot of and also I think that it's done more for us than what, because at the time when COVID happened, we moved back. We were kind of like, what like a waste of, not a waste of time, but like just like a huge, massive, like a major setback.
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm even looking at our like Spotify analytics, like we're quite a bit more popular in America than what we are Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's done something. That wouldn't be the case if we didn't spend all that time over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It also part is because like it's such a bigger place. Yeah, the same amount of people in Australia as there is California, isn't there? Something like that.
Something like that.
I think there's more people in California than there are in Australia, like the entire country, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah. The small numbers look better in America, but
I see.
Anyway.
Okay.
On the up.
Right, of course.
Went to the clothing store today and the guy had the shit on.
Really? Mm. That's huge. Congrats.
It was Jordan, our friend, but
oh shit.
Anyway, I was talking about the profile earlier. It's just been so cool, like being able to like compile all of this and talk to different people. And one thing that I've seen that's been like extremely consistent through pretty much your whole like timeline is that you guys seem, I mean, this, it's not a secret. You make friends pretty much everywhere you go. And, obviously have made some like pretty good connections as a result of that. It's tough because that type of like, I call it charisma, is not really something you can manufacture. So like, I apologize if this is a difficult question, but do you think you could speak at all to like the importance of that quality?
I feel like we've just always like been pretty open to whoever's in the room and have fun. And I mean, we all have a good time together. I feel like if maybe you put us on our own environments, we probably wouldn't be the same. But I feel like when we're together, I feel like we're just all having a good laugh. But I don't know if anyone's like, let's try to go out and be as charismatic as possible.
No, I think another big part is like there's zero judgment because like we hope that we're like, I mean, people naturally will judge you, but there's always like, we don't see a certain type of person and go, oh yeah, that's who I'm going to socialize with, or that's who I'm going to be friends with. It's always just like, you're a good hang. You know what I mean? Like it's
pretty much,
that,
yeah.
It's that easy.
And if you're a dickhead, we'll be nice to you, but we'll talk shit about you.
We're very friendly to you. That guy's a fucking
absolute wanker.
It doesn't come as like easily to some groups, I would say. I don't know.
I also think, Jack, in like this industry in particular, it's like there are so many. It's very easy to kind of have a bit of an ego, I feel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
absolutely.
And I think most of the time you'll find it's probably not a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's like
I think what Mossie's trying to say is we're not big enough to have our ego yet. So whenever we get big, the hang is going to be completely different.
No, I've like rubbed shoulders with artists who like are not. It's just I think like there's a stigma there that like you have to be this or you have to be that.
No, there's definitely groups we played with where like first time round, like you're kind of like, well, they weren't overly friendly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're not real musicians.
And then you keep bumping into them and then you kind of do start to open up with people and that you get to know them more. But like I feel like there are a few people you've seen that just are a little bit cold shouldered, and then you see some that are legends. Like we played with this group, the Grogans, recently, and from like the first meeting and hang, we're just like homies. Like it was the funnest tour. But I feel like, I don't know, every band's different. Plus, musicians can be weirdos. So like sometimes you literally just meet a group that are like kind of just a little bit
Fucking
weird and insecure, or like just not super outgoing, but they make cool music, but they're not like super like talkative when they don't know people. So like I think it's just I don't know, it's a weird industry. I don't know what it would be like if you went out for dinner with a bunch of doctors. You'd probably meet fun ones and unfun ones. But
That's a good point.
yeah. Well, to answer the question quickly, I think just for us, we're just like, we enjoy our own company, and we like
enjoy our own
well together, and then and so we're always having a fun time, and it's not off bounds to come and have fun with us. So we usually just end up hanging out with whoever's down to have a good time. And like yourself, you were keen to come hang out and
leave your brain at the front door though, Jack.
I struggle to think of a time where I've been at a show and I'm like, wow, they didn't talk to the audience at all. I loved that. That was like, I just wanted to see the music, you know? I don't know. It just does. It's
so
like
cool. They don't say anything to us. Yeah, I get when you don't want to, and I get when people do. I'll go through like stages of like not saying anything, or like just a couple words, and then sometimes being just saying too much.
I think diff bands are like, so with us, it probably, in my opinion, it comes across as more authentic, but it's also a little detrimental to us. But like, we're very much reactive from our audience. Like we're not a manufactured band that goes up, and if there's a crowd that's, you know, they're all 80 years old and they're sitting down, like that's not probably going to get us to engage with them as much. And we've been criticized from like people within our team for like being very like reactive to the crowd, and it shouldn't be like that. It should be the same show every time. But I think we are just like naturally like, you know, if the crowd's really into it, and that might come down to like if we're playing well or whatever, but I think it works both ways. That's what a concert is, you know. You like, you both, it's a two-way thing. It's not a one-way thing.
Yeah, because I personally watch a show, and if the crowd's not into it and the band's like going psycho and hyped up, I go, in my head, I'm like, so why are you guys doing that? I was like, the crowd's not even engaged. So like for me personally, that's how I see them. So I'm like, if it's not like a pumping show or anything, I'm like, I'll naturally play. I'll be naturally playing however I feel, but I won't be like going crazy. As if someone's like going crazy out there, then it makes me want to do something maybe a little bit funner.
Yeah, but you kind of like feed off each other in a sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty crowd
reactive.
Eat the crowd vibe. Unless it's really shit show and I don't give it, like I find it funny to be obnoxious. That's also another thing.
Not to like keep bringing up past shows, but the Halloween show that you guys did in Hollywood springs to mind.
That was shit show.
We think about that being our worst show that we've ever done in our lives. I can't believe you were there. That's just fucked.
No, I consider myself lucky to have seen that one. What a weird...
That was not a good show.
I didn't know what to expect going into it, but it wasn't that. We
just came up playing a really fun tour.
Yeah, you've been
to do one of our own shows, and that was the one we did.
That was fucked.
Yeah, that was stupid. Whoever organised that one. It wasn't you, was it, Jack? Jack kind of like reacted like, well, don't look at me.
No, speaking of like stage presence though, and I just wanted to like read a quick quote because it's relevant. This is from when I was talking to Teddy, and he was talking about some of your very first few shows as the Ruminators.
We had a vibe at our shows from like day one. And the other thing I found, I remember vividly from the moment we started playing, was there was never a huge emphasis or thought on like how we were going to be perceived, or like, you know, what we were going to wear and what it was going to look like. It wasn't very curated at all. We just like got up and played. But the way in which we did that, I always felt like we just had so much fucking fun that like it was so hard not for other people not to have fun, if that makes sense. Kind of like anything, it's like if you just like do something authentically without kind of worrying too much about how it's being perceived, like to me that's the coolest fucking way to do anything.
Well, we were pretty young and energetic then.
Sure.
They were really fun.
We're still like,
we would have been playing horribly, by the way, because of how much fun we were having before and after the show. But we did go I used to be going crazy in that group.
We did go crazy,
but I don't know if I've got the energy like I did back then to do that anymore.
I think we just take it a little bit more seriously now.
I think Teddy's right with what he said of how our feelings were, but yeah, we used to be like probably the drunkest people at the bar when we played. Like for some reason, we just thought that's what you did when you played in the band, was like be the drunkest people there.
That's not what we thought. We just did it. We just enjoyed doing that.
We enjoyed doing it, and then so that would make the show like probably very sloppy but fun and energetic. So it wouldn't sound particularly great, but it would have been fun. And then now we just because I think we've kind of learned to play our music, I think we've just naturally learned to play better. And the songs are maybe a little bit more difficult to play for one, but I think we enjoy playing well opposed. Like that is more fulfilling than just going up and drunk and having a party. Our own internal party and making everyone watch us party, I guess. But
if we don't play a tight show, there's dramas back there.
Mm-hmm.
Not crazy dramas. You might be a little bummed.
We try a lot harder now, Jack.
Okay, well, I definitely didn't have any sort of like, I didn't see you guys as the Ruminators, obviously, so I don't have much of a frame of reference other than just like, you know, what I've heard.
You would have loved it, Jack.
Well,
it marks our 10-year reunion, I think, in November of our first album we brought out with the Ruminators.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't
this year. So I did have a thought of trying to do a 10-year reunion
American show.
Maybe a few shows around Australia.
That'd be cool.
Years ago with the Ruminators, we did like a cover at a studio in London. It was kind of a incentive they were offering where they'd get a band in. Well, they weren't offering, it was more like offered to you to do it. But you'd do a cover of a song that was in their like catalog that was recorded at that studio, and we did a Hot Chocolate song, You Sexy Thing, as the Ruminators. And then this is just a funny story. Years later, we moved to America and start with Shiv, and our keyboard player Alex starts playing with us, you know, for a year or whatever, and then goes to one of his friends' weddings who we didn't know in Hawaii. And they're walking down the aisle to our cover of You Sexy Thing.
Really?
Yeah. Which I thought was fucking hilarious.
That is off topic, but good story.
Yeah. No, but we were just talking about like Ruminators going to America, and I was like, we've been, baby. We've been. Funny. He was like, what the fuck? I know these guys. I know these fools.
Walking down the aisle to that song alone is
pretty sick. You'd have to be, yeah. Anyway.
You guys seem to have a pretty positive outlook for where things are going in 2024. I figure it's appropriate because it's the beginning of the year. Where do you guys see yourself in like a year from now?
I don't know. I just kind of see myself probably still in Australia.
Well, yeah.
Shoot for the stars.
I don't know. I actually...
I think he's talking about the band, you dickhead. Musically.
I don't know where we'll be, but hopefully in a year from now, we'll be doing more touring, hopefully bigger shows of our own. Hopefully we can get back overseas. And
I'd like to get back overseas, Jack. Get over to the States again.
That'd be awesome.
And then, yeah, assume more music out.
Sick.
He doesn't have to assume there will be more music out. It's just a fucking...
There just will be.
Gonna happen. I already know there will be. There is. It's done.
You can cut all my anals out, eh?
It's so annoying. So annoying to talk to.
And I want you to know I'll never let you go, no matter how hard or strange things can get. 'Cause you're strange too. Where to?
The charm just doesn't end with these guys. If you're in Australia, Le Shiv have got quite a few dates throughout the month of March as they tour in support of this new EP, so look out for those and maybe go see them. You'll be very happy you did. If you want to learn even more about this great band, I am nearing completion on an extensive profile about their life in music, due out at some point this year, so pay very close attention if you're interested in that at all. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about Le Shiv, and you should be too. Okay, I'm done now. Thanks for listening.